Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome everyone to the special session called the Digitalization of Islamic Finance Resources via the i-Fikr app, here today at the SCxSC 2021 event. And my name is Izzuddin. I will be your MC and moderator for this special session, inshallah. Today we will be learning more about how organizations such as like ISRA and INSEF have advance the field of Islamic finance through various means such as its research, publications, forums, events, and even more. And also how one of its latest products, the i-Fikr app, is changing the landscape of the Islamic finance digital resources for the future. So you will know more about this i-Fikr app as we go along if you're not a member already. Now, speaking of which, what is this i-Fikr app that I've been mentioning a number of times in the past 10 seconds? The i-Fikr app, one more time, is the one-stop Islamic economics and finance knowledge app where you can get access to research papers, textbooks, exclusive videos and events, and more that is now available on Google Play Store and the Apple App Store, right? And you can see the link and the QR code to download the app above me here as well. Now, with us today, we have an exciting lineup of panelists. First, we have Dr. Marjan Mohammed. She is the, she is the Director of Research Quality Assurance and Publications at INSEF. Then we have Mr. Hasno Muhammad Yunus. He is the Director of Corporate Affairs at INSEF. And last but certainly not least, we have Mr. Ibrahim Musa Tijani. He is the Product Manager of the i-Fikr app. So you definitely will learn more about the app and its benefits and its outlook for the future in this session. Now, with that, let's get to the first. Let's get the ball rolling, shall we? Now, if everyone is here, if you are here to learn more about the app and how we are shaping it and what the history is and what we're going to do in the future with the app, you are in the right place because this is these are the right people you are going to be listening to, and this is the right place where you can get all the information from. So, Mr. Ibrahim, how are you doing, sir?
Alhamdulillah, good. How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah. Now, Ibrahim, you are the product manager for the i-Fikr app, yes? So can you elaborate for everyone here further on how or what is i-Fikr to begin with, and why was the app developed?
All right. Thank you very much for that question, Zadine. First of all, let me just take this opportunity to thank SC for giving us the opportunity to present the i-Fikr app to our the distinguished audience of the SCxSC's Fintech event. I think we want to share more about the app, and we hope they can benefit from it, inshallah. So the app actually, the i-Fikr app is a development progress of i-Fikr in general. The i-Fikr stands for Islamic Finance Knowledge Repository. That was the name given to it, and in short, we just call it i-Fikr. Pronunciation is again
i-Fikr.
Yeah, so the I actually is Islamic. So, you know, like on the iPhone, we don't go for a small I, we go for a big I because it represents Islamic. So we put a big I there. So I and Fikr is an Arabic word which means to think, right? And Fikra means, you know, in Arabic, and Fikra means an idea. So the thought for i-Fikr is to allow people to come with ideas when you're reading, when you're engaging, to have various ideas. Especially if you look at the i-Fikr logo, especially this one here, especially the semicircle version of the logo, you'll notice that there's in the logo, we put a design of a brain. So the brain represents also to the intellectual thought process. So even our logo represents that thinking process. So actually, from the beginning, actually, the inception or the launch of the i-Fikr itself was launched back in the days when the former governor of Baghnegara, Tansri Zeti, she was one who launched this i-Fikr, and she has mentioned that because that time the i-Fikr was mainly just for the ISRA's research papers publication, just to display its research papers. So and there was hope for such a platform to grow. So Alhamdulillah, with with time and progress, we decided to, after myself joining the whole thing and make some changes to it, we decided to make some changes to the platform to make it more vibrant and make it more attractive with more content. So we did so with introducing content such as glossaries, content such as fatwas. So various content was actually added to the platform to make it more appealing to our users. Again, listen to our users, make it more rich in knowledge sources. One of the so the revamp actually with much blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the platform was relaunched after the revamp by the then former education minister, Dr. Masli Malik. So this also too was a new brief of look to the i-Fikr platform. However, the spirit of i-Fikr has always been, after a while, we started to have the spirit of, changes and also make it more innovative and make it more attractive. Again, keeping with the trends of the modern day changes, especially in the digital world where things are rapidly changing, right? So what we noticed was that we did some access of the industry, especially the finance industry and globally. And what we recognize is that, yes, the trend has always been in the case of everyone has gone total mobile, right? The trend now of mobile has become very rapid and great. So we noticed that, there's a lot of users that are, our platform users, majority of them are accessing our platform through mobile. So what we did with that was we said, okay, we checked the trend and we noticed that for last year, for example, there was over 204 billion downloads of apps alone, all right? Downloads, right? 2020. So that means an over 88% of the users of mobile has been done in the app. It's just done on app, right? So most people spend most time in the app. So this also strengthened our understanding of what we need to do for the app. And also, again, listening to our conversation with our users, and we noticed that even the Islamic finance industry, the Islamic finance industry is still infancy, but growing slowly. But when we look at the app industry, we realize that there is hardly much Islamic finance app in the market, whether on Google or iOS. There's hardly any app of Islamic finance. And if there were, they will only be mostly banking apps, like CIMB, Maybank, all these banks will have their own app for their customers. And then when you look at maybe just for investments, like you have these things like all these robo advisory, those were the ones having apps. So apps were nothing of knowledge, nothing on education, nothing that was intuitive idea. Nothing was there in that area. So and the thing is, next thing was when we were looking, I think we want to make sure it was quality, because there might be some people who will create something, but again, we have to always maintain this level of integrity when we're doing something Islamic. Make sure it has some form of integrity. So we have a last point, we put more effort into this idea, and then we came forward with trying to build this app. So what we wanted to was make sure the app caters to various needs of the industry. So among these needs that we thought was most relevant, for a well-designed app, needs that were relevant was that, the app should have an update or information about current trends, trends that happen in the markets and what's happening in the market. So we incorporated a news feed. For the first time, there's a news feed. Once you enter into the app, you will be met with a news feed of various activities on the news feed. So you will see events, you'll see posts from users, which of course we encourage users to get more involved. So you have for now a tailor-made Islamic finance news feed for you to engage and for you to get more information. So also we wanted to make sure we had quality and premium Islamic finance content. So in this area, we're talking about publications, we're talking about research papers, we're talking about reports. So we had, for the first time again, we actually allowed the ISRA's books. ISRA's books is one that already been, and I think you'll hear a lot more about ISRA books from other panelists. But so we actually introduced a section that allowed books now for books to be available, for people to actually have quality resources. Again, you will hear more about that about the books and the variety of books that we have available. And then in the area of also to Sharia, one of the main areas that people always still talk about is this ambiguity or not clarity when it comes to Sharia, right? So some people are not clear. So we made sure we created this Ask Sharia, a dedicated area where you have glossaries, you have fatwas, you have excerpts, and you have fiqh, muamalat in one area. So when you type a question, for example, what is murabaha, how was murabaha work with ijara, you'll be surprised that the answer comes back in this segment, really take that out. And again, I will say we hope to actually, inshallah,
so people can directly engage on the app on the
Ask
Sharia section.
Enhance this thing with some
specific
AI, inshallah. We're still looking for a collaboration and engagement and some form of partnership to actually include this thing, integrate this thing more with a stronger AI that can give you more tailored answers, right? Also, we took care of the area of networking and talent development in the industry. So those two areas were also taken care of. We can contact with your friends. You can request for a badge. For example, if you are IOFI certified, you can get an IOFI badge. If you are ISRA alumni, you can get an alumni badge. So there is badges on the platform, so which allows now people to show their credentials, which we want Islamic Finance to show their talent and development. And so there are other features, and again, too, you can ask question and answers and other personalized things. So alhamdulillah, the app has been it's been available and it's been over a year now, alhamdulillah, almost a year now actually. So we are glad that the response has been very positive. We have at least for the time you reached like a 4.8 out of 5 rating of the app. So but of course we still want, even the 2%, we still hope to work harder. That means we want to point to improvement and to get better.
Perfection.
For perfection, exactly. We want perfection. We like to reach we want to maintain it. So we are, again, education has always been one of the latest place for innovations, but so we are hoping to get more into the area. So we look for investment, we look for to make improvement. We're listening to users to get their feedback on how to get it better. We look for partnership and all that kind of stuff to get more. So we hope to see, to do more for the app. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ibrahim. So sorry to cut you off, but we do have to give time to the other panelists as well. Dr. Marjan, can you elaborate? How are you doing, Dr. Marjan? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Excellent.
I'm good.
Okay. Alhamdulillah. Now, can you elaborate a little bit on how ISRA and INSEF have contributed to building knowledge and enriching resources for the Islamic finance industry?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much, Brother Izzuddin, for your question. Let me answer your question by posting another question. Why did Bank Negara and Bank Negara Malaysia establish INSEF in 2005 and ISRA in 2008? What are their core mandates? Well, while INSEF as a global university was established to breed the needed pool of talent and expertise through offerings of Islamic finance programs, particularly postgraduate ones, ISRA was meant to complement the existence of INSEF by promoting applied Sharia research and acting as a repository of knowledge for Sharia views, fatwas, and resolutions in Islamic finance. So to deliver this important role of being a knowledge repository, ISRA has undertaken 2 main initiatives. First, we must develop the contents. But how did we achieve this? Firstly, we undertake rigorous research and we publish the outputs in various forms, including books, research papers, journals, reports, bulletins, and so on. Currently, for your information, we have both ISRA and INSEF have published almost 20 books. Here, I would like to highlight one of ISRA's flagship publications, that is Islamic Financial System Principles and Operations Textbook. The usage of this book has been registered from 56 countries, including Costa Rica, United Kingdom, Canada, and United States. It is also a compulsory read in various universities and is almost at all higher learning institutions in Malaysia that offer Islamic finance as a subject. It has also created significant impact in prominent international educational institutions such as Harvard University, Durham University in the UK, Monash University in Australia, Al-Imam Muhammad Ibn Saud Islamic University in Saudi Arabia, Yarmouk University in Jordan, and many more. So this book is actually widely read by academicians, industry players, students, and also judges, regulators. And importantly, it was cited in the case of Maybank Islamic Berhad versus M10 Builders Sindram Berhad and Anur in 2015. So the book has been translated now into Arabic, Indonesian, and English to ensure wider readership. So ISRA collaborated with Chagamas in publishing the first and second edition of the book. As I'm speaking now, for your information, my dedicated team in ISRA is cooking the ingredients of the third edition of the IFS textbook to ensure it is evergreen and relevant to the market needs. Other books that we have published so far include Sukuk, Islamic Capital Market, Takaful, Islamic Legal Maxims, and Islamic Economics. With regard to research papers and reports, up to date, we have published more than 120 research papers and more than 20 market reports, which we are doing it internally or through collaborations with various reputable institutions like Deloitte, the World Bank, Islamic Financial Services Board, IFSB, Association of Islamic Banks Malaysia, IBIM, UK Islamic Finance Council, UK IFC, MDEC, and many others. On the other side, to cater for the academia needs, ISRA also publishes its own English and Arabic journals. High quality research academic papers are being peer reviewed prior to the publication. Currently, we partner with Emerald, a renowned UK-based publisher, to publish the English journal, which is indexed by many providers, including Scopus. So the second step that we have done in order to become a knowledge repository, as mentioned by Ibrahim just now, we built our library of resources. And then we create a one-stop center, which is accessible to readers worldwide digitally to host those valuable contents. So therefore, that marked the birth of i-Fikr that Ibrahim elucidated just now. But not only i-Fikr, INSEF also built INSEF Knowledge Repository IKR, which serves as an online platform to specifically profile intellectual contributions of INSEF faculty members, researchers, and students. So all SC by SC viewers, please feel free to subscribe to i-Fikr and log in to IKR to access abundant of knowledge resources in Islamic finance, ranging from Sharia, Islamic banking, Takaful, Islamic capital market, social finance, Fintech, data analytics, econometrics, and many others. Lastly, don't forget to watch our short video, which is available at our SC by SC booth on ISRA's latest publication, an English translation of Sheikh Mustafa Az-Zarqat's remarkable work titled An Introduction to the General Theory of Obligations in Islamic Jurisprudence. The translation of this seminal 20th century work will be definitely of tremendous benefit to university lecturers, researchers, students, and industry practitioners. And in fact, members of the public who want to understand the philosophy of Sharia regarding rights, obligations, and properties may also find the book useful. The book was published in collaboration with Maybank Islamic Berhad. So thank you for listening. With that, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Over back to you, Izzuddin.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Dr. Marjan. Hopefully that was a very insightful and beneficial session for our viewers on the number of the works that ISRA and INSEF have been doing and it will be doing for the future. Now, Chasnod, our final panelist. How are you today, sir?
Doing good, alhamdulillah. Thank you very much.
Alhamdulillah. Can you share with us, how would this amazing app benefit from the long list of its users in talent development for the industry?
All right. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and very good morning to you, Brother Izzuddin, my fellow panelists, and as well as all the viewers and listeners at this great event. It's an awesome question, and it's a challenge for me to answer that question, Izzuddin, as the final panelist. As what has been mentioned by Brother Izzuddin as well as Dr. Marjan, that one of the mandate that has been given to ISRA/NCF is that the mandate of talent development. Now, when we look at the talent development side, we have to look it in a very creative manner, right? We do not want to offer something which is, any person or organization could possibly offer. So this is where we, the team, look into the trends, what's going on and whatnot. And specifically, when we look at the Malaysian market, we understand that Malaysia has one of the highest mobile penetration at, more than 120%, more than the population that we have currently in Malaysia. And if you look at the mobile internet and as well as internet penetration itself, it's very high amongst, if not the highest in the Southeast Asia, it's among the highest in Southeast Asia and ASEAN, Asian as well, right? So we look into the behavior of users on the social media. Now the trend is that people even learn and receive news on social media. If you look at some of the recent research in the United States, mentioning that 50% of the Americans, where do they get their news? From the social media. So we mimic, we thought that, it's best for the i-Fikr application in its, way of getting the talent development side of it through the mobile app, right? It's going to be interactive. It's going to be very dynamic in nature. All in all, is part and parcel and supporting the grand vision of INSEAD to be the knowledge leader in Islamic finance. So if you look at the mantra, if you look at the tagline of i-Fikr itself, connect, engage, and expand. These three elements are actually the ground, the basis of us bringing the benefit to the users. What are those? One is empowerment. Number two is empowerment through quick and simple manner, right? In the age of mobile, in the age of social media, it has to be at your fingertips. This is where i-Fikr Mobile comes to the picture. Now, if you look at the users that we have right now, members or subscribers of i-Fikr, you have the academics, we have the students, you have the people from the industry, you have mashaykh, right? The scholars and whatnot. So each segment of the users, they can definitely benefit through, you have the newsfeed. The newsfeed is dynamic. Every morning you just go and grab your coffee and look at what's happening in Islamic finance. Yeah. So you have news, you have posting from your connection. Again, it's mimicking Facebook, famous social media channels and whatnot, LinkedIn and whatnot, right? So that's the connect part. And then the engage part. This is also where talent development process happens, right? People are engaging with leading people in industry. For example, the executive director of ISRA, Professor Dr. Akram Ladin, he's there on the app, and people can engage, asking questions and getting direct answer from himself, right? So that's the engage part. Expand. You can definitely expand your knowledge base. You can definitely expand your networking with those people, right? If you're a student, you might want to subscribe. You get to know who's who in the industry. You get to know some of the CEOs of the industry as well on the app. Who knows? You might be joining, those leading Islamic finance institution, organization, and whatnot. So, in a nutshell, right, there's a lot whole of benefits when you download, become a member of i-Fikr. Whether you're academics, whether you're a scholar, whether you're a student, whether you're in the industry as a practitioner and whatnot. Yeah. So in all, the whole ecosystem of i-Fikr is definitely an ecosystem that mimics the Islamic finance and as well as Islamic economics with a whole bunch of resources, namely the fatwa, namely the publications, digital publication and whatnot, and even some of the events that we have right now, right? For example, you can view it on the app as a live event or through our Zoom link, or as well as the recorded events that we have been hosting. Yeah. So in a nutshell, that's how the mobile app could possibly bring benefit to the users, to the members, and as well as everyone who has strong interest what's Islamic finance all about, what's Islamic economics all about. So I think it's a good opportunity for all of you to at least go to the iOS, go to the Google Play Store and download it and play it around before you definitely decide to subscribe and gain tremendous amount of benefits. I guess that's a simple response, Brother Izzuddin. I'll pass back to you, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Excellent. That's a very good, and short and concise picture of what is i-Fikr and what it's providing for its users, and it's I would say a very wide range of users, as you mentioned. Now, with that, ladies and gentlemen, dear viewers and audience, thank you very much for joining the session. We have to end here, unfortunately, but if you want to find out more about the i-Fikr app, please do visit us at the ifikr.isra.my or download the app, or you can search the app i-Fikr app, I-Fikr on Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. And you can also visit our booth, our virtual booth at the exhibitor section on this website. With that, thank you very much, Brother Ibrahim, Encik Asnul, and Dr. Marjan for this session. Dear panelists, thank you very much. And also, dear viewers, thank you very much. Hope you have benefited and engaged, and see you soon on the app as well, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum.